All right, so you think you want to know what it takes to be a gas plant supervisor. We'll get ready to go beyond the surface because we're diving deep into a world that's a lot more than just turning valves.
Yeah, it really is. And luckily, we've got some awesome resources from RoleCatcher to help us with this little deep dive. And they go way beyond your basic job description. It's not just about the technical stuff, it's about leadership, real leadership in a high-pressure environment.
Okay, so let's break this down a bit. We all know natural gas is important, but what does a gas plant supervisor actually do? Like, what's their day-to-day look like?
Imagine this raw natural gas coming straight out of the ground. It's full of impurities, and it's the supervisor's job to make sure that it gets processed into usable fuel, the kind that heats our homes and keeps businesses running.
So they're like quality control, but on a massive scale.
Exactly. And those compressors they talk about, they're the heart of the whole operation. They extract impurities, pressurize the gas, get it ready to be transported through pipelines that can stretch for miles.
That's where it gets really interesting, right? Because I never really thought about the logistics of it all. I mean, the guide even mentions they could be working on offshore platforms in deserts, like all over the place. What's that about?
It all comes down to location.
Yeah.
You find gas fields all over the world, and often in some pretty challenging environments. So a gas processing plant supervisor needs to be adaptable, ready to work wherever the gas is.
So it's not all climate control rooms, then you might actually be out there in the elements.
Exactly. And those diverse environments, they bring their own unique challenges. Extreme weather, potential hazards. That's why safety is non-negotiable in this line of work.
Right. You're dealing with volatile substances. It's serious business.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that means strict regulations protocols. You're constantly training and learning in this field. It's not for the faintest heart.
So on the one hand, you've got a job that can be demanding, maybe even a little dangerous, and could send you to some pretty remote locations. But then RoleCatcher highlights the perks, high earning potential job stability, even chances to travel the world. Talk about a trade-off.
Yeah, it's a balancing act for sure. And those stressful situations they mention, those are real. Imagine an equipment malfunction in the middle of nowhere or on a platform during a storm. You need to be the one who stays calm, thinks clearly, and leads the team to safety.
I can definitely see how this job would appeal to a certain personality type. Someone who thrives under pressure, loves a challenge. What other traits come to mind?
Well, absolutely. You got to be someone who's willing to take charge, especially when things get tough. They don't call it supervising for nothing, right?
It's more than just knowing the technical stuff, isn't it?
Right. It's about having that confidence, inspiring your team, especially when those high-pressure situations pop up.
It seems like the kind of job where experience is everything. You can't just waltz out of school and into a supervisor role, right?
You got that right. RoleCatcher actually lays out a pretty clear path. You usually start with entry-level positions, like a junior operator. Learn the ropes, get some hands-on experience with the equipment.
So basically proving you can handle the day-to-day before they even let you think about leading a team.
Precisely. And as you gain that experience, you work your way up, taking on more responsibility with each step. And eventually, you might find yourself as a senior operator, overseeing a whole section of the plant, mentoring the newer team members.
And then finally you reach that supervisor level. It's interesting. RoleCatcher mentions all these certifications you can get along the way. Is that pretty standard in this field?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like leveling up your skills. Those certifications, they prove, your stuff. Whether it's safety procedures, operating that complex equipment, or even environmental regulations. And remember that example profile, the one with the veteran supervisor.
Yeah, he had like a ton of certifications, didn't he?
He did. But it wasn't just about having them. It was about him mentoring others, passing on what he learned. That says a lot about the kind of leader he was.
It's like they say to teach is to learn twice. It sounds like those soft skills like communication and mentorship, they're just as important as that technical knowledge, especially as you climb the ranks.
You hit the nail on the head. Because a gas plant supervisor, they aren't working in a bubble, right? They're responsible for a whole team. They've got to be able to communicate complex stuff clearly and make sure everyone goes home safe every single day.
Which brings me to something I wanted to ask about. That whole 66% of the job is operations monitoring thing.
Yeah.
That seems intense. How much monitoring can one person do?
Well, it's not just about staring at gauges all day. It's about understanding the data that's coming in, making decisions on the fly based on what you're seeing. Think of a musician reading sheet music. They don't just see dots on a page. They see a symphony waiting to happen.
I like that analogy.
And a gas plant supervisor, they need that same kind of awareness. They got to be able to anticipate problems, troubleshoot malfunctions, keep that whole operation running like a well-oiled machine.
So it's a very analytical role then, always thinking on your feet, adapting to new
You
situations.
got it. And then there's the pressure of knowing that people are depending on you, literally to keep the lights on.
It's definitely a high-stakes environment. Sounds like the kind of job that would attract someone who's not just good with the technical stuff,
Mhm.
but also a natural problem solver, someone who can lead under pressure.
Exactly. And that's where the right tools and resources come in, like what RoleCatcher provides.
Yeah.
You can really highlight those skills. Set yourself apart from the competition.
That's where those AI resume builders and interview prep tools come in handy.
For sure, like RoleCatcher's document analysis results, they point out these keywords, things like ensure correct gas pressure, optimize production processes, and test chemical samples. But it's not just about throwing those words on your resume. You got to back them up. Show them you understand what it all means in the real world.
It's like translating your skills into something hiring managers actually get. You're not just saying, hey, I'm qualified. You're showing them you're the one they need.
Exactly. And don't forget about networking.
Oh, right. RoleCatcher mentioned that.
Yeah, they highlighted some good ones. The American Gas Association, the International Gas Union. Those are gold mines for connecting with people who've been there and done that.
So building relationships, learning from the pros, putting yourself out there, because experience is key in this field, right? But once you've put in the work, climb that ladder, where does it lead? What's at the top?
That's the exciting part. It doesn't just stop there.
Right.
You could become a plant manager running the whole show, or even an operations manager overseeing multiple plants across a whole region. Talk about a career path.
From supervising a team to managing multi-million-dollar operations, that's pretty impressive.
It is. And it shows how much this industry values experience and expertise. But we can't ignore the elephant in the room.
The shift towards renewable energy.
Exactly.
Mhm.
With all this talk about renewables, how do you think that's going to impact the future of these gas plant supervisors?
That's the million-dollar question. Will the need for natural gas just disappear? Or will these supervisors be the ones guiding us through this energy transition?
That's definitely something to think about. I mean, their technical skills, their experience could be essential in bringing in new technologies, new processes as we explore different energy sources.
So instead of a decline, it's more like an evolution, an opportunity to adapt and thrive in a changing landscape. Because we're going to need energy no matter what, right?
Absolutely. And who knows, maybe the gas plant supervisor of tomorrow will be the one leading the charge towards a more sustainable energy future.
That's a great point. So it's not just about technical skills or even leadership when it comes to being a gas plant supervisor. It's about resilience, adaptability, and a passion for this constantly evolving field.
It's about keeping the lights on, literally, while making sure we have a responsible and sustainable energy future. And for those with the drive and the skills, it's a career path that's challenging, rewarding, and could take you all over the world.
Well, there you have it. We've gone deep into the world of a gas plant supervisor. We talked about the technical side, the importance of leadership, and even considered the future of this dynamic industry.
It's been great breaking this all down with you. Hopefully you're walking away with a better understanding of what it takes to succeed in this field.
And remember, this is just the beginning. Keep asking questions. Keep learning. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the one mentoring the next generation of energy leaders.